Jay from Bad Religion. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited.
I'm
hope
finally
so.
here.
I mean, this year has sucked for us.
Why?
We tried to get some shows. We tried to get some tours, and everything just sort of fell apart. Like it's been really strange. In all of our touring years, we've never had a year like this where we were trying to get things happening and everything just sort of fizzled out before it worked. This call came in at a time when we really didn't know what we were going to do, and it was both from Green Day and the festival, which was super exciting for us because it's nice for them to sort of like reach out and say, hey, do you guys want to do this? Yeah, we really would like to do this.
Because you Green Day is one of the band you inspired,
right?
And before them,
and we're good friends. And look, I have always been a fan of them, and people need to know that. Like before Green Day was the Green Day that you know, they were the Green Day that we knew, and still the same band.
Yeah,
still the same great band that wrote the great songs. So they are really who they present themselves as.
Yeah, with a good attitude. Is the recipe of the longevity.
And I think for a band like Green Day, they went through a period where they really didn't accept that success, because it's hard to go from being a band that's a Gilman Street band to being a worldwide success, and your friends look at you differently, and the other bands talk about you differently. But the truth is they didn't change anything. They did everything exactly the same. So I give them a lot of credit for accepting what they have and making the best of it.
Not the first time in Canada. Kiss sings Detroit Rock City, but can we say Quebec Punk Rock City?
It is.
We're always welcome here.
It is Punk Rock City. And the weird part is none of us really knew that until we came here. All of us had been touring just in the van, doing whatever you can, and then you pop up into Quebec City, and all of a sudden here's this mecca, right? Where we're like, how are there so many great people here? And you never don't think about it.
Right? And also like the younger fans are become adults, parents, and now you have a new generation of fans. This must be pretty awesome.
It's as long as as long as what we're doing is current, and that we still get to feel like we're part of something that's happening now, not something that happened then we're all good to go. We love this.
I know you're working on a new record. The pandemic slowed the 40th anniversary of the band, so still working hard.
Not as hard as we used to, and probably because we don't have to.
That's right.
So when we're working on things, it's sort of at a pace that's a lot different. Before we were naive and unstoppable, and we had nothing better to do than to write and record and go on tours. And you get to a point where in your life, whether you're Greg and you're teaching at Cornell, or me, I just had a new baby, and so life starts to kind of doesn't get in the way, but it's like it's not being in a band isn't a priority.
The priorities change.
It's
the experience. That's what we call experience.
But the great part is that when it does become the priority, it's very rewarding.
It is.
I
always give a chance my listener to ask a question, and I have some few good questions for you. And so Maxime Chamberlain wants to know, what do you think of the punk movement in 2023?
It's still as valid as it ever was. It's important for me to make sure that my idea of a definition of punk isn't necessarily everyone's idea. And that's what makes it great. And, I always feel like I need to point out that punk isn't a music. Punk is a thought. Right? It's not a dress. It's not a haircut.
It's a way of living.
It's just a way of thinking. And so when you have a musical style that is speaking your idea That is punk. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what it is. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter whether it's pop punk or metal punk or grungy punk. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Titles are for critics.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just that idea that someone has something inside them that needs to come out. Yeah. And you don't need to be talented. You just need to be committed.
I love that.
And that still exists today.
Sébastien Matt wants to know, NoFX announced their retirement next year.
Yeah.
What about Bad Religion?
5 more years.
5 more years?
Fat Mike said, a few years ago, we started 5 years after Bad Religion, so when Bad Religion retires, we'll go on for 5 more years. I said to Mike, no, you'll retire before us and we'll go on for 5 more years after you retire. Nice. Just to be 10 years older than you.
Awesome. I love that kind of competition. Hey, Jay, thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah.
Have fun tonight before Green Day. Yeah. And we can't wait to see you back in Quebec City.
It's going to be
Quebec
great.
Punk City.